Hi, Aim. Mutie.
Hi, can you hear me?
There you go. So I was going to reply to that email saying, as unbalanced as I am, I can probably stand on a ladder or a box.
I mean, I can stand on a ladder, I can stand on a box if they need that. I actually watched the HRC meeting as well.
I
And I
think,
don't, I don't know if they need that or if they need, I'm sure Catherine will tell us if they, about the intro person.
yeah,
Either way, I'm happy to do any of it, so. I met your parents,
oh, you did?
which, was it your parents or your in-laws? I think it was your
My
parents.
in-laws.
Was it your in-laws? Oh, sorry. But they were
They are extraordinary with the Alaska thing coming up and then the wedding.
yeah,
So,
they were in the office the other day.
oh, good. Good. I think there were some expensive flights in the last couple of days that were booked.
They all are.
I mean,
No
that little loop to Huntsville for $1,000.
Oh, is that what it was? It
Yeah.
wasn't my it wasn't mine, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
Not surprised though.
Wow. Catherine, I was watching some of your adventures today.
Which adventures?
I was in the closing office at Scully's office
Oh,
and peeking across the street at the number of cruisers and
so my
action going on downtown.
my outdoor adventures.
Yes, your outdoor adventures. I don't know
Yes.
that I didn't want to jump in and see the indoor adventures.
Yeah, they're going to permanently be outdoor now. They won't be indoors for a while.
Okay. And how do you facilitate that? With a no trespass order for something?
Yeah, we had some damage, and it was caught on camera.
Okay.
There were some Adirondack chairs on the plaza.
Yeah.
And they got tossed around. So
That was quite a stuffed animal today too, by the way.
that's not ours.
Oh, it's not yours?
No, it's
That was not a loaner that went out the building?
No, you can't borrow that. No, no,
I
it's
failed to get any video evidence of the exchanges, but
yeah. What what they don't teach you in library school.
yeah. Or law
Yeah.
enforcement, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. But I say it all the time, our law enforcement is awesome.
Yeah.
They're,
The job's hard enough.
it's hard enough. I was talking to someone, Dave and I were talking with one officer, and he had another call, and it's like they go from one thing to the next. And I always get good advice, and nothing's ever escalated. It's just everybody stays calm, and it's nice.
I do miss the tree, though.
I know. I know.
I did get a good look at it before they took it down, and it was going to come down on someone's head if it didn't get taken down.
I was a little distressed about it because I wanted to make sure we were making the right decision, and everybody kept saying yes. And Dennis Fazio said, yeah, that's got to come down.
Dennis, who doesn't want to take down any trees anywhere.
I know. And he said, definitely that one has to come down. And when they took it down, Megan, who's at Circulation, went outside and took photos of it, and the whole inside of it was empty.
Yeah.
It was really an accident waiting to happen.
Yep.
And they're going to put a new one up. They'll put something new up.
Good.
Yeah, I have to call them.
Hello all this evening.
Hello, everybody.
So is Jeff conducting the meeting today? Is that how that's going to work?
At least one more time, yeah. I think in my role as vice chair or deputy chair.
Okay.
All right, so we have our quorum. I think we were just missing Paul the last time I looked. And yeah, okay. So let's get going. What time do we have?
7:03.
7:03, we will start,
Ready.
and we will go with acceptance of secretary's report. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the secretary report.
I can second it.
Okay, discussion. I'll jump in. Can we accept both secretary's reports at the same time, Catherine, or do we have to do them one at a time?
I think you can do them at the same time.
Okay, so this would cover the last regular meeting and then the special session regarding the flag. So I thought both reports looked good. I just had a question. I missed the last regular meeting, and there was talk about screening things in Hoopla. Was that related to the recent national story about Hoopla containing some, let's say, less than library worthy materials in it, or is that a separate issue?
That did happen, that Hoopla had a problem. Is that okay? I see it here. Yes, that's referring to that.
Okay.
That the library does not curate the collection in Libby, right?
Right. Okay. Okay, hearing no discussion, we'll go around the Zoom for a vote. Roll call. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes, sorry, can you hear me?
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay.
And Jeff,
Uh,
Paul is here now.
Oh, Paul. Okay. Paul, we're voting to accept the secretary's reports if you want to chime in.
Yeah, I'm a yes.
Great.
Sorry, I'm driving a little bit delayed.
Quite all right. We will loop you in. Very good. Second item, acceptance of the monthly staff reports. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Laura?
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, great. Is there a second?
Second.
Great. Discussion.
I'll just say, I love how each department is adding that section now about the, how was it labeled? Sorry, it's multiple panels open here. About kind of the top story of the month, or
That's like what
this month.
that's
yeah.
like what Jeff used to do. Now everybody does it.
Yeah, it's great. It really gives a lot of color commentary around what's happening. So thank you.
That was Jackie's idea.
Fabulous.
Saw the note in there that the summer reading program is locked in. Is that the plan that we'll hear about that?
In June.
Yep.
There's some people are on vacation today, so they'll have everything ready and we'll be in person. So they'll show you in June.
Oh, so is that definite? We're going to have the audio issues cleaned up by then?
Yes, they could possibly be cleaned up now. We just want to get them even a little more cleaned up.
Sure.
So yeah, we'll be ready for June.
Was it a matter of turning off the blower or of fixing the microphone, or?
Possibly. Sometimes we can't get the problem to repeat.
Okay.
So it doesn't even happen all the time. So I think we'll be good for June. And everyone will have to speak up. That's probably one thing, is that we'll want everyone to speak clearly. But other than that, I think we'll be fine.
Catherine,
Yes.
did you find out about the little pods that go on the table?
Sort of. That was one of the options, something for the center of the table and maybe individual microphones. But we think we can stick with what's in the ceiling. We think we're going to be able to work with the ceiling mics.
Understood, thank you.
I just want to also say I've been following the, like, as you go through all the different numbers of the Dewey Decimal System through like social media and everything, and it's been interesting. It's been good. So I've appreciated it.
I've learned a little something.
There was a comment about the repointing of the front steps, and that was part of a DPW. Did we know about this? Or was this like a new DPW funds for it?
Yes, the DPW has been carrying money for the library that I was unaware of. I didn't know they had this money. And it's been there since Rick Stinson was there. So, and it's for masonry. So we had the plaza itself repointed. We didn't repoint the stairs because those are going to be moved to investigate. And that's supposed to happen within a month or so.
The
Okay.
investigation.
The investigation.
Great. Yeah, 'cause we need to roll out on some of these big ticket items. So
Yeah, that's, the DPW is helping us with that, and whatever
Good.
piece of equipment they're using it someplace else right now. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that equipment.
So they didn't spend money on repointing something that's about to get torn up anyway.
Exactly. What they repointed was the plaza itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in time for jazz.
Exactly.
And it looks like that's still TBD.
I found out today that I'll start Plaza Jazz in June.
Oh, nice.
Mid-June. I think it's the 16th might be the first one. So we'll do 3 in June. And Zach Bridges is going to handle the 3 in June. And then we'll be working with Berkeley starting in July. And I don't have the information from Berkeley yet, but it's pending. And I've applied for the license, so that's good to go.
That was the beer and wine license too?
We had that one year.
I remember, I was there.
Yeah. It's hard to get the vendors. It's hard to get a
Yeah, I
vendor.
think that was that also the Socorro night?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard because that's a night that restaurants do most of their business. They do good business on Thursdays. So it was a loss for them to come to the plaza.
Okay, any other comments, questions? All right, hearing none, we'll move to vote on the motion to accept the monthly staff reports. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. The ayes have it. Okay, item 3, public participation. I did see one name I did not recognize.
Benny Weed is here.
That's it.
Is that it?
Any?
Hi, Benny.
Hi, how are you all doing?
Doing well.
Very well.
Great.
Did you have any comments?
I do. Well, so I'm here actually to ask a question / invitation, make an invitation. So I'm on the Human Rights Commission, and you all recently granted us the wonderful honor of doing our flag raising events on the plaza this year. And so I had reached out to, often somebody from the town council or from the school committee says some like opening words or something like a welcome. at our flag raising events, and I had reached out to them, and Maureen got back to me and she was like, I'm happy to do it. But did you consider asking somebody from the Library Board of Trustees to do a welcome, since you all are the people who kind of afforded us this opportunity this year? So I wanted to come and kind of put that out there and see if anyone would be interested. We have 2 flag raising events. One is on the 1st, which is Wednesday, a week from today, in the evening at 6 o'clock. And the other is on Wednesday, the 15th at 6 o'clock. That's the Juneteenth flag raising event. So you don't necessarily have to give me an answer right now, but I wanted to put it out there of if there's anyone here who's available and would be interested to say, you don't have to like make a speech or whatever, but just like, hi, welcome to this event. You know, I don't even know, some kind of stuff, like just a welcome kind of moment at the beginning before the program begins. I think it would be lovely. And if not, Marion said she'd be happy to do it.
Without speaking for the rest of the trustees, I'm sure we'd love to participate in some form.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting us.
I concur with that, Chris.
Yeah, so is anyone interested? Anyone want to put their hand up? I agree that we should send somebody, absolutely.
I mean, I was gonna be there anyway, so I'm happy to do it if nobody else wants to, but
So we think that Amy may actually raise the flag.
Oh,
do we need a flag raiser or was HRC?
Yes, that's what you were responding to, and I wasn't sure that you read that when you responded, you said, I'll do
I
anything.
didn't do any of it.
And I
You-
thought,
Well,
does
yeah, it's funny because,
does that include standing on the balustrade and hoisting the flag?
If they need someone to hoist the flag, I can hoist the flag.
I can join you for that as well.
I mean, so just to be clear, the HRC is happy to hoist the flag. The only problem we've been running into, I think, is we need to be shown how to do it. And all of us work during the day and don't get back until like we miss the window of being able to coordinate with the facilities person. So it's been sort of
so it's Dave is going to have to show us how to do it. I don't think it's complicated, but we do have to know how to do it. And right now it's locked. We have to unlock it. That made a lot.
Fortunately, we have enough lead time to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so the 1st is a week from today, is that right?
Yes.
And then the 15th, obviously 2 weeks after that. So yeah, I mean, if Dave can coordinate with folks to go over how that happens over the next week, that sounds good to me. I mean, I was also planning on attending, but yeah, I think having Amy and Chris as our official representatives is terrific.
And I'll send something out tomorrow that firms it up with some dates and some commitments. Like defined exactly who's going to do what when.
Sounds
Does it sound good?
And same for the Juneteenth event. If somebody wants to like say some welcoming words, we would be thrilled about it.
What's
I should be available the 15th. I'm gonna try and make the 1st, but I just gotta check my schedule when I'm on drive.
Okay, so
Great.
Confirm the June 1st event is at 6 o'clock and the June 15th event is at 5 o'clock, correct?
No, they're both at 6 o'clock.
Both at 6. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And of course, you are all invited. I hope everybody comes. Family, bring your family, bring your, I don't know, neighbors, whatever.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you
very
all.
much.
And thank you so much. I was sad that I wasn't able to actually join the trustees meeting last time when you discussed this. And so I just want to say a huge thank you. It's been like sort of complicated this year trying to figure out which flagpoles and what's going on. And there's kind of lots of back and forth and lots of factors to consider. And the fact that we were able to do it at the library, which is like so central, and it has this beautiful plaza that's a perfect spot, and an available flagpole, it just was like the perfect scenario. So I really appreciate, the whole HRC really appreciates being given the opportunity this year.
Well, we're very happy how it worked out.
Yeah.
Agree.
All right. Well, thank you all. I will let you get on with your meeting.
Excellent.
you.
Penny.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Penny. Have a good night.
You too.
That's good. Thanks, everybody. Item number 4 is correspondence. I didn't see any in the package.
I
Did I miss
don't
it?
think, I don't think there was any this month.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, we'll move on to committee reports. Budget.
Yeah, I don't think there's a committee report on budget, but I did include budget information with the packet. And we will be fully expended by June 30th.
Great.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, we're gonna spend every penny, it looks like.
Okay, and I apologize, I missed the last meeting. Where do we stand with the carpets? Is that moving ahead this summer, or is that on hold?
I have to actually choose a carpet, and then we'll be able to, well, we'll have to coordinate it with the people who actually do the work. But they're a fairly large company, and they have always been pretty flexible. So I'll let everybody know. I mean, if it happens this summer, I'll send you an email and let you know that it's happening this summer. You know, we try to do it at a downtime, like the last week in August, or a time when we're not very much used. Like May is usually good, but it didn't work out for this May.
Right.
So we do have to pick a carpet though, because the one we chose is no longer being made.
All right. Okay. Building and grounds. I haven't heard anything new on funding for the roof. I also haven't heard from Mr. Vacation, Tim Healy, on the front sign. So I don't have anything to update there.
No, the tree came down and a new one will go up. And today, the last couple of days, the fence has been replaced in the back lot. That fence had been damaged in the snow with snow removal.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And DPW pretty much replaced the fence. So it's beautiful. It looks just like it looked before.
Great.
Yeah. And everything else seems fine. We turned over to air conditioning. Nothing else, Jackie, right? Nothing's falling apart or anything. No, we seem good.
That's good. I knocked on my wooden table just in case.
I know.
Okay. Friends, did we have anyone attend the last Friends meeting?
I was there. And I'll pull up my notes. Apologies, because I'm taking notes and I have,
Right.
you know. Okay. And I like to keep it so I can still see everyone, but it was a good meeting. It was a pretty full meeting. There was discussion about forms to be filed for for their taxes. Membership mailing had gone out the third week of April. There's a lot of discussion about publicity, revisiting the branding. All that will happen after the book sale. They reserved actually tomorrow's section of the daily item, that this is Wakefield section, to focus on BB and Friends, and highlighting some of the work that doesn't get as much coverage, you know, work they do at the senior center, prisons, and teachers. And a lot of the promotion efforts are on the book sale right now. You're probably getting a lot of those emails as well. And I'll just put in a plug too. I'm sure you're all doing this, but encouraging anyone you know really in a 10-mile radius to come attend the book sale on, you know, starting next Thursday, I guess, June 2nd, that weekend. And they're kind of reworking the layout. Last year was the first year the book sale was in the herd, and they're building off of that, reworking that, and are even considering some lower price points for some of the books, because they still had a lot of leftover last year. And there was discussion about the slate of officers. I think they have some people who are moving off because of other commitments. And then
Or did they get to a slate of officers? Because they actually had 2 Friends meetings since our last meeting.
oh, I'm sorry. So
No, it's quite all right.
yeah.
I feel like I was old news. because I was the
Oh.
one before that. And
Oh.
I thought they presented a slate, but I don't know that it got voted on. Catherine, do you know?
Jackie was at that meeting, but
Yeah,
I
did
think-
they
No,
vote?
they vote, they vote in June. June is their annual meeting.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So the one I went to, they listed some people that would be on the slate, and when Jackie went, those people were verified. So they have a full
They
slate.
have a
but
slate,
Jackie-
yeah.
They have a
Okay.
slate, but they'll vote in June.
And then to Jackie's point about the annual meeting in June, there was discussion about when and how to promote that. Right now, they're not trying to compete with they want to keep all the focus on the book sale. So once that's over, I think they'll stop promoting that. And thanks for mentioning that, Chris. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead. I
No,
was.
no.
Oh,
I'm old news. I really
Yeah.
appreciate not being news.
Is there anything that was in that previous meeting that?
Oh, yeah, my only other comment was, did they ever figure out the mystery $419 donation that Keith was struggling with?
Oh, I don't know.
There was, I remember they were talking about one donation. I don't remember it being $419. And they were just trying to match it with, I think they're thinking it was like a membership renewal, and it just didn't match up. They were trying to, he was trying, somebody else on, there were a lot of.
Not
people-
that I was entertained, but I think that was 15 minutes to try and hunt down one
Oh,
$400 donation that no one could put a name tag on.
yeah.
Sometimes where people are employed, those companies will send a donation in addition. And when they try to match those up, it gets, funky. They're not really sure where it goes. So it could have been one of those.
And their annual meeting day was the 12th, I think, right? Of June.
I think. Yes.
And I will just be devastated if the B goes out the window. And then part of the rebranding process.
Is that on the table to lose the B?
Rebranding.
It's funny, they didn't, at the meeting I was at, they didn't get into specifics of what they were thinking of for that.
Yeah, it all got pushed past the book sale.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they go back and forth with keeping the B and updating the B and changing the B. So we'll see what happens with that.
Is that a Friends logo, not a library logo? Like the beehive and,
Yeah, they have a B caught reading.
oh, right, okay. But on like the libraries itself, it's the hive, right? Like the,
Yeah, it's like a bee, I think they call it a bee skep.
okay,
It's a hive that's made, it's almost like from colonial times. It's made from, I don't know, pine needles or something. So it looks very rounded.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's
And I do think that-
that's the libraries.
I do think the Friends will have a lot of work to do because Helen does an extraordinary job trying to corral that collection of volunteers.
Is she leaving?
Well, she's stepping down as president.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be around, but she has more work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I think she's had such a interesting couple of years and kind of,
Yes.
shut down of the book sale, the rebuilding of it. And she's done a really impressive job. So,
I think she has.
yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay, anything else for friends? All right, we'll move on to gift funds.
Catherine, I think I'm caught up on paperwork at this point, right? That's the ongoing update from gift funds is there's one more piece of paper to sign. I think we've signed them all at this point, right?
Yeah, and I got something in the mail that leads me to believe it's all finished.
Okay.
My last job is to contact Kevin Scanlon because if he has an online account, and if it's gone from there, we'll know that everything's done. So I know you and Susan are on. I just need to verify that Cindy and Kevin are off.
Okay.
And it looks to me like they are, but I'll verify with Kevin and then we'll be done with that.
Sounds good. That's the update.
That's it.
Good. It's good. It's
Yeah,
completion. Yes.
that's right. That's right.
That's only 2
months now.
Wow.
Okay. Legislative advocacy.
I know the Senate voted yesterday on their budget, or they started talking about it. Every budget that's gone through has been good for libraries. So
So then it's down to reconciliation.
I don't know if they're quite that far, but pretty close
Okay.
to it. Maybe one step away from that. So I looked up today and I couldn't see anything today. They started deliberations yesterday, but everything I see shows that they're hitting either what the MBLC asked for or a little bit more. It's just where it's going to end up.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's very good.
Good news. Good news all around. Okay. Personnel.
We have anything, do we?
Do I have to sign something for you, Catherine, for the did I already sign the
I think
evaluation?
I think everybody already signed it, but
Okay.
I'll check it again. And
I saw it in the minutes and I couldn't remember physically doing it, so I wanted to ask today.
Is that the one we did at the in-person meeting?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I went in after because I attended that one via Zoom, and I went in after and signed that.
Yeah, I came in like 5 minutes before the end. So
Yeah, Right.
oh, that's right.
I mean, I think we're in good shape. Just if you could circle back with me, Catherine, and let me know if I
Yeah.
need to stop in to sign anything.
We'll be signing things next month. So
Okay.
if anybody didn't sign it, I'll bring that next month and that will be an additional thing.
Great. Thank you. Anything else with personnel? Okay. Brings us to new business, annual board reorganization committee and chairs.
So I included a list of the Board of Trustees and your contact information. If there are any typos there or anything wrong, you can let me know. And then underneath that, there are the committees as they stand now. And where Tim was there, I put a slash through his name so that you're either down a person there or in the case of the chair, it's empty. So it's all yours, Jeff.
Okay. So I think we usually start with the board and work our way down to the committees. I think a couple years in a row we forgot to do the chairs, so we'll make sure we do that today as well. Are there any nominations for the board for chair, vice chair, and secretary?
I'm going to nominate Jeff Quinn to serve as chair.
Second.
Boom.
All right.
Done.
Okay, thanks. Is there, let me ask, is there any other, I'm happy to serve, but I want to ask, is there any other interest in the chair?
Lead on, my friend.
All right, so I accept the nomination. We'll have to vote on that. Should we vote on these individually or as a slate? Catherine, I think we've done it either way in the past. Is that right?
Yeah, it's up to you from what I can tell. I barely remember how this was done before.
Yeah. We'll pick them off one by one. I guess so. So the motion on the floor is to appoint me, Jeff Quinn, the the chair for the coming year for the Board of Trustees. Is there any further discussion? Okay, we'll take a vote. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Can't say no now, can I? Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I will say yes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so that
Congrats.
leaves, thank you very much. So vice chair, are there any nominees? Is there any interest expressed in the role?
Amy,
Amy or Chris, I can keep nominating, but Amy would definitely get my nod too.
Yeah, I'll accept if you guys want to nominate.
Maybe.
I wasn't
I'll
gonna nominate
nominate
myself.
Amy
So.
for vice chair.
And that's Paul nominating Amy for vice chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Multiple.
Jackie? Very good. Okay, any discussion? Any other nominations? Okay, so hearing none, we'll vote on the motion to appoint Amy as vice chair for the coming year. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
yes.
Laura. Is that
Oh, I said yes, sorry.
okay? No, yeah, my audio cut out. Thank you. Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Happily, yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Great, unanimous. That leaves us with secretary. Laura has done an excellent job the past year. Typically, I'll say historically, prior to my epic 5-year run, we would turn that role over every year. So I'll say, first of all, Laura, do you have any interest in continuing in the role?
I'm happy to do it, but I also think it's a good opportunity for someone else to do it as well. So
I will say, having done the job, it does force you to get down into the nuts and bolts of what's going on. So I do think it's a good opportunity. If someone else wants to jump in or nominate someone else.
I would nominate Laura to return to the fabulous role she has been carrying forward
10-4.
in the tradition of our current chair.
So she's for 5 years.
5-year terms longer than the actual term you're voted to.
Right, yeah.
Your
Um,
reelection is guaranteed to continue secretary.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to accept that, but truly, if somebody else is interested in doing, I think, I'm fine either way, but if no one else is interested, that's fine.
all right, a last call. Any other nominees, even if it's a self-nominee?
Maybe next year.
Okay.
I don't know if
A
did anybody second
self-nominee-
that?
Yeah, I don't know if we got an
That's
official
very
motion in a second.
optimistic.
Yeah.
We won't forget that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think in that we didn't get a formal nomination or motion. It can,
I think Chris nominated, but I didn't get a
Make a
second.
motion to nominate Laura. Good
Okay.
return.
Second that.
Chris
As
Scott.
secretary.
Okay, very good. So unless there's any other discussion, we'll vote on that motion to appoint Laura one more year as secretary. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay, we have our board. So let's discuss committees. We need to replace Tim on building and grounds, but I think, and personnel, were those the only two? I don't have the sheet in front of me, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, yeah, those are the only two, executive facilities and personnel.
Okay. I'm happy to continue on building and grounds facilities. I could use a second on there if someone's interested.
So I'm happy to jump in that and pick it that
Great.
with you, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Chris. Okay. Personnel, is someone interested in backfilling for Tim on that? Laura, actually, let me open it up. Is there anyone who's on personnel who would like to bow out? Is there anyone else who wants to jump in on that?
I'd jump into it. I mean, we have 3 people on it right now. It looks like we still want to keep it at 4, but I'm happy to throw my name in the ring for that.
Yeah.
Are
Before you
any of
move on,
these, specific, is the chair required to be on any of the specific committees? I don't have the bylaws in front of me, or is it just by chance that Tim was on those?
I think Tim just expressed an interest last year in joining personnel. That's how I recall it. Catherine, do you have a different recollection?
No, I don't.
I couldn't unmute. No, anybody can do any committee. It doesn't have to, the executive aspect of it doesn't make any difference.
Okay,
Okay.
I truly wasn't sure, so that's that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Great.
I think it's good to have several folks on personnel. They tend to be the most active subcommittee. So having a few folks there, I think is not a problem. For me personally, if anyone has a preferred number, we can talk about that. A number of folks on the subcommittee.
I think that'd be a question for Amy and Susan and Chris.
Yep, that's right.
Does 4 seem like the right number to?
I think so. I mean, we had several things come up this year, and I feel like it was enough of a diverse opinion without being overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think that was the most active we had for a year with that. And we
Yeah.
handled it, I think.
4 is the right number.
Okay, great. Okay, so unless someone else is interested, we can add Scott to that. And then how do we go about selecting chairs? Catherine, is that do the subcommittees meet and do that, or do we appoint that here, or?
I think we can do it here.
Okay.
I don't know if the subcommittee appoints their own group, their own leader. They must.
I think that's what we did with personnel.
We
arranged-
voted at a personnel meeting for the chair.
Like Jackie's not on a committee at all. Do we need
Yeah,
to-
we have to add
Well, yeah,
back.
we definitely need to get Jackie on a committee for sure.
Sorry, Jackie.
That's okay. I was planning to just stay under the radar. No, I'm happy to join any of the committees. My daytime job is working in development, so I do a lot with estate gifts, gift agreements, pretty much everything with gifts and fundraising, if that helps at all. But any of the committees I'd be interested in.
Great.
On legislative advocacy, or is that something that Jackie would?
Yeah,
good
so
on?
yeah,
Or
so the
she's
last
looking
2
state-
are legislative advocacy, and then is again, I don't have the paper in front of me. The financial
Gift funds?
Gift funds.
yes,
The-
yeah. I think it sounds like Jackie would be good on gift funds. We could also use legislative advocacy help as well, though.
I'm happy to jump on the legislative advocacy as well. I don't think we talked about the budget yet, did we? The budget one, but
No.
No, we did not.
So Catherine, in my experience in gift funds, obviously Sue and I are on the account, and that took a while. It sounds like Jackie would be best suited for gift funds based on experience, but in what capacity? Would we have to get her on accounts as well, or can she serve in the
No.
subcommittee? Like Amy
Like
Right.
I'm on the committee, I'm just not a signer.
No,
Exactly.
you don't actually have to even be on the gift funds committee to be a signer. So the fact that you and Susan are the signers now, if next year that committee changes, we don't have to change the signers. It just has to be a member of the board, is because that information goes to everyone.
Okay.
It's just that the committee would do the nitpicky stuff in the event there is some.
So I'm happy to, if it makes sense, again, don't get overcomplicated. I can be on personnel, and if we don't need 4 people on gift funds, happy to nominate Jackie to just take my spot there, and I'll just be on personnel. Or I can do both, and she can also be on gift funds. Either way, it's fine by me.
Yeah, I think adding Jackie is the correct thing, and then I'd leave it to Scott and the gift funds committee on whether 4 is too many, whether you wanted to jump off that, Scott.
I'm fine to stay on both.
Okay.
It's not very taxing. I think one of the reasons personnel is appealing is because it's the exact opposite of gift funds, kind of so far. So that's fine.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll add Adam to legislative advocacy. We'll add Jackie to gift funds. Let's see. Any other changes we want to make to gift funds? I think it sounds like we're good there.
Mm.
And then legislative advocacy. I think is it just Adam and I on that line
Paul
for
as well.
now?
Paul as well.
Paul, that's right.
Yeah, Paul's on
Yep.
that one too.
Yeah, so I think 3 on there is good. Paul, are you willing to stay on legislative advocacy?
Yes, please.
Great. And then that leaves budget, which we did not talk about. Is that the last one? Then we'll have to go back and do chairs.
Yep.
Any changes folks want to see to the budget subcommittee lineup?
The thing you should know about the budget committee is that you're likely to be the ones that may want to show up at town council meetings.
Okay.
So it's currently me, Adam, and Paul on there.
Okay.
I'll confess, I know I'm not frequently able to attend the town council meeting. So if that's an issue, then I would,
Yeah,
you know,
as long as there's 3 or 4 of you and 1 person's available. And it does not have to be restricted to the budget committee that comes. In some years, it's the chair who will come. And it mostly becomes important if we're trying to defend something that needs to be explained.
Right.
are you talking, Catherine, about every town council meeting, or you mean just
Just the budget one.
okay, right. I remember that from.
It's
yeah,
once a
okay.
year. And it's possible that in the coming year, we might want someone to come, maybe somebody from the building committee to come for facilities, to come to capital planning when we meet with the capital planning board. And that's, case by case basis, but.
Then I'll take back what I said, because I was thinking it was attending all the town council meetings, though I know that it's been remote, but.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good lineup, but Jackie, is there another subcommittee you'd be interested in jumping on? We want to keep you engaged to your level of interest and commitment, time commitment.
Put it to work.
All right, she's on all the subcommittees. That's easy.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy to help out wherever you think you need one more person. Like I guess I don't really know how much work is each one, but budget sounds fine, or legislative advocacy sounds great, whatever.
Okay. Well,
I like numbers. I can do budget.
okay,
Budget's
yeah,
great.
let's do that. Let's, well, what do folks think of adding Jackie to the budget group as
That'd be
well?
great.
I think that's good. I think having a fourth person on budget makes a lot of sense too.
Okay, so for the changes so far, I have adding Chris to building, adding Scott to personnel, adding Adam to legislative advocacy, and adding Jackie to gift funds and budget. Did I miss any other changes?
I don't
That
think so.
matches what I have. And
Okay, great.
everybody else will stay in their, all of the assignments will remain the same, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, that's my kind of default position. If anyone has anything they want to see changed though, for their own assignments, this is the time to speak up. Okay. All right, so chairs. We'll start with personnel. Does that group want to nominate someone amongst yourselves? Should we engage the whole board on it?
Hi, Susan.
Yeah, I want to do it. I had such fun the first time. I would love to do it again.
I think you did a fabulous job.
Thank you so much.
I
Keep
concur
on
with
that
that.
tradition.
All right, Susan is the chair of personnel. All right, legislative advocacy. Legislative advocacy doesn't really meet to vote on a lot of stuff, but we should probably pick it.
I'm happy to be the chair.
Great.
Adam.
All right, Adam is the chair. Terrific. Gift funds.
I'm happy to do it.
Go for it.
Cool.
All right, staff got it.
Yep.
And then budget.
Paul, would you be interested in that? Sharing the,
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Paul's the chair of the budget subcommittee.
Oh, Paul, since we couldn't hear you, you're chair of budget.
All right, did I hit all the subcommittees?
facilities.
Facilities.
All facilities. Chris, you want to
Well,
flip a coin?
since I'm the
Chris,
rookie, it
yeah,
has to be you.
You joined, you're the chair now.
That's I guess that's me. All right. I am the senior member of the
You
facility.
are.
Okay, so I just walked through we just walked through the chairs and the changes to the subcommittees. Can we just vote on that? Do we need to vote on that, Catherine? And can we vote on it as a set of amendments, or?
Can I read the entire thing and then you can vote on it as an entire slate?
Perfect.
Okay, so the executive board is, who's the chair?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh my God, I can't read my own writing. Okay. So Jeff, Amy's the vice chair and Laura remains as secretary.
Yep.
Budget is Godwin, Gordon, Rogers, and Jackie.
Yep.
Facilities is Quinn and Barrett. Gift funds is Lomanak, Stady, and Wetmore.
And Jackie.
And Jackie.
Oh,
Natalia.
and Jackie, right,
Yep,
okay.
Brad and Natalia there.
She's already trying to skate on her
I
duties.
know, already. Legislative advocacy, Gordon, Quinn, Adam is the new person, and personnel, Barrett, Lomanak, Wetmore, and is that Scott that I added? Yes,
It is.
okay.
Correct.
And you all know the chairs. Budget is Paul. Jeff is facilities. Scott is gift funds. Adam is legislative advocacy, and Susan is personnel.
Correct.
Okay,
Make a motion to accept all the positions.
So move. Oh, second.
Okay. Chris to Laura. All right. Any further discussion? All right, we'll put it to a vote. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. All right. Very
Can I
good.
ask you a
Real-
question?
Sure.
Next question before. So what are the rules in terms of if on a committee matter, we wanted to talk to each other and things like that? I know we have to be careful about open meeting law and things like that. So what are the rules about sending emails or doing things like that outside of the meeting?
I think if there's a quorum, you can't do it.
Is that a quorum
A
of the full
quorum
board?
of
or-
a quorum of the committee.
A
Okay.
quorum of the subcommittee.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'll verify it though, and I'll send that out. Because I have to go through the open meeting stuff that Tom Mullen gave us to,
So if
but-
we have a committee of 3, I can email one person with something, but I can't email both of the members.
you can,
as far as
you can email information, but you can't deliberate on anything. Anything that would require a vote, that's what you can't talk about. If it's anything that requires a vote where a decision is made, which is kind of funny because a decision in a subcommittee, you're going to bring it to the whole committee normally anyway. But I'll get better details on that and send it out because I tend to be very conservative about the open meeting law. I just don't want anyone to come back on it and say, you know, you were talking amongst yourselves and you weren't supposed to be.
I mean, I know personnel, we went into executive session, but that it's hard to imagine that, you know, Jeff and I can't talk without having a posted meeting.
Right.
Right. 2 of you can't, but that's because there's 4 people. How many people are on the committee? 1, 2,
2.
4.
There's two. There's
There's-
2.
Oh, on facilities.
Well,
it's just
on
2.
facilities, it's just the 2 of them. So that might get kind of
Right,
quirky.
right. But there's probably not as much that could be talked about that would come to a vote.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, I think everything has to come back to the board for
Right,
approval or
right.
for an actual vote. Even all the personnel work we did had to come back to the board.
Right.
Yeah, the
We
big question
made
might,
recommendations.
yeah. How often do you have to just basically schedule a meeting?
Yeah, I think it's only it's only when you're deliberating, but I'm gonna have to get the details on that because it does seem like as a practical matter, it seems silly. But the idea is that that you're always meeting and that when you're having substantive discussions about the library, it's in open session.
Yeah, I just know the reason I just have always like refrained from sending emails between meetings or anything because I'm just nervous about stuff. But it
Yeah.
feels like to get some stuff done on some of these committees, we have to actually be able to talk to each other more than once a month. So not that we have a lot to get done, but just that's why I'm asking what the rules are so we can play by them.
Yeah, I will find out about that because I imagine there's a certain amount of planning you can do that before it's presented in open meeting. That would make it okay, but let me just verify it so we know exactly what we're doing.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the other thing that's on that sheet, it refers to signers. Just for anybody who forgets and for Jackie's information, the accounts payable, they go out every week or every other week. And it used to be that all of the trustees had to come in and sign the warrant that said, yes, you're going to pay all these bills and we accept that. And then the town said, you can vote for a signer. And what this board had decided was that Jackie Powers or I could sign the warrant. And if either one of us could not do it, or if both of us could not do it, 5 trustees would have to come in and sign it. And as that's never happened, Jackie and I have been able to do it every time. All of those bills are a matter of public record, and you can even see them on the town website. And the result of paying those bills is the reports that you get monthly. The payroll would be signed by myself or Jackie. Typically, Jackie does the payroll and I sign it. If we can't do it that way, Susan volunteered to be the 3rd signer. So Susan, I don't think you've ever had to come in and do it, have you? No, we'd have to, both Jackie and I would have to be out for that. So if you're fine to leave it that way, then I think it would be fine. I think you just have to vote to uphold that.
Make a motion to keep the signers as listed on the current document.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. Let's do the roll call. Amy?
Yep.
Chris?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes. Okay. Anything else from this sheet, Catherine?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's done.
Okay. Next item is meeting schedules. There's a proposed slate of meetings for the next year, with the default being the 4th Wednesday at 7, with a few shifted to avoid holidays and vacations and whatnot. Any introductory comments on that, Catherine?
I think it has happened before that we've changed a date or we've skipped a date because there wasn't anything on the agenda. So this does not commit us. It should something come up. But it allows you to kind of plan your calendar and to have a regular set date.
Okay. Is there any discussion on these dates? Okay. Do we need a vote?
Why not?
Actually, can I ask what day the town meeting is? Is it
Oh, good call.
always the
no.
Monday after spring break? The spring town meeting?
The spring town meeting that's in May.
Is it in May? Oh, I was thinking it was April. Okay.
It used to be in April and they changed it to May.
Okay. You're right, 'cause I was just there like a week ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was there.
Yeah.
Carpet. Okay. I was thinking April 26th was gonna mess with something, but I guess it doesn't.
No, that tends to be on a Monday night. And when they did it during the pandemic, it was Saturday morning.
Or I'm sorry, not town meeting, election.
Election. Yeah, I think
That's what I meant.
town
an
election.
election. Well, this is a Wednesday. Elections are on Tuesdays.
Right.
So
Yeah, but we've ended up moving stuff around so to give folks more than the 6 hours on Wednesday to get signed in to be
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think have we done the week prior instead? Before
That was
the
spring break week though.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, we could even change that one to like Thursday night if nobody objects to a one-off. Just to give, I hope the 3 that are up next year run again, et cetera, et cetera. But if there's a new person, it would give them at least the 48 hours to
So are we talking about April?
the April.
one, yeah.
So would we want that to be the week before or the week after?
Can we just move it a day? Because the week before is spring break, which
Yeah,
I'm,
which is why we tried to skip the spring break things.
Why do we want to change that one?
It's just tight turnaround for the newly elected trustees to get signed in at town hall before the trustees meeting the next day.
All right, so who you pushing out, Quinn?
I'm not pushing out anybody.
in case one of you decides not to run again.
So
We
we could change it to May 3rd.
Because I'm thinking that's the week of potential blossoms.
Yeah, it is.
oh,
Could we do it 2 weeks earlier in April? So we avoid school vacation week and it still stays in April? Does that matter?
Right, April 12th. I think we've done that before, gone a week early.
Yeah.
That might, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because I feel like Susan and I came straight from a Blossoms meeting to that one. Right in the
okay. Yeah, I mean, that works for me. Any other
Changing it to
suggestions?
April 12th.
I have Blossoms penciled as the 29th. Is that still correct?
is that
That
the
sounds
last
about
Saturday-
right.
Probably, yeah.
The last Saturday of April, yes. That's assuming no new virus or current virus gets in the way again.
It'll be a monkeypox.
Don't,
Say
don't,
Box on you for that.
we don't talk about that, okay? We don't need to talk about that.
Excuse me. Okay, that's a good catch.
April 12th, is
You guys
that?
drag this meeting on, I'll be able to vote on stuff from 3 different states.
Are you driving?
Yeah, I go down DC every year.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're gonna amend April 26th, to April 12th. Do we need a vote? You said yes, Catherine?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept the amended slate of trustees meetings?
Yeah, I can make a motion to accept pending the change from April 26th to April 12th.
Very good. Second?
Second.
Great. All right. Unless there's any other discussion, we'll start the vote. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Okay. Great. Moving right along to the holiday schedule.
Holiday schedule. Just in case anybody wonders, we do keep track of how we close, and I have details back to 1967 as to when we've closed. So this follows that. And so when I chose on Christmas and New Year's how to close the day before and after, that's all based on precedent. And I don't think that there was anything else unusual. There were all the regular days, except the Christmas and New Year holiday will include Sunday. And for Christmas, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Closing at 5 before Thanksgiving is routine. We do that every year.
Do we still call it Columbus Day at the library?
No, it's Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah, I I don't know, sometimes they call it multiple things. This came right out of the contract. So it's not what we would necessarily say in publicity or, when we post it. When we say what the day off is, it's whatever the state will be using. Might be multiple things. And we tend to do displays on all the things that come up, so those get covered.
Okay. I mean, this list looks good to me. I would have had the question about the closing Saturday, Sunday, Monday for Christmas, but if that's what we've done in years past, we should, I think we should continue to do that. So I don't have any other questions or comments. Anybody else?
No.
Okay. So we do need a vote on this since we're closing the library. So is there a motion to accept the list of holidays and closures as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll put it to a vote. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Holiday schedule is accepted. Tuition reimbursements.
So this is for Annie, who's in the youth room. And she has made a request for 2 courses. And this is still the same program that she's in. And one of the courses is materials for children. So that's, reading materials and those kind of things. And cataloging and classification. So because there are 2, I can look through past approvals of the trustees for continuing education. We also keep track of that. I had continuing education for years when I was in grad school that the trustees that the trustees covered. So I think in this case, what you want to look at is the kinds of money that's available. And we do have fairly good sums of money available that might be affected by the market in the coming year. But right now they're healthy. There aren't other people who have this need. Because there are 2 courses, you could opt to fund each one at 50%. Or you could do the full 100. You could do it either way. It does, in some ways, whenever you do something like this, it sets a precedent. We don't have a lot of people with this kind of need right now. But in the event we did, there'd be different decisions that you would have to make. So I don't know if you have questions about it or how you want to think about it.
Did we ever determine if there was like a limit to anyone, whether it be an employee limit or an annual limit, or that's
No,
been part of the policy, right?
there's not really a limit. I did include the policy in the packet so that there's a list of things that you might be looking at.
Yeah.
The criteria, but there's not, it's your decision because it's the trustees' funds. The trustees have control over those funds and what they want to do with them. And past trustees have determined, and it's on the policy, that the philosophy of it is that, you want to encourage development of professionals. And so the trustees will support that financially. But you also want to be careful with the money.
I have
Yes.
a question. Since I can't look at it now, is there anything where tuition reimbursement incurs a service obligation or anything?
No, it does not. It does not. So you would look at the staff member's length of service, which in Annie's case is, this is her first professional job, her, librarian professional job. I can tell you that she's an excellent employee and we're inclined to keep her. She's young. And like anyone, you could decide to leave. Much of my education was funded by the trustees, and it was sort of expected that I would stay at the library. I was kind of invested in administration, but I had no obligation to. And you have no obligation, there is no obligation to keep an employee because of that either. It's a separate, employment is separate from the reimbursement.
Understood, thank you.
Okay, we reimbursed a couple of Spanish classes, as I recall, was it for Annie or was it for someone else?
Yes, all the most recent reimbursements have been for Annie.
Did we reimburse that at 100%?
Yes.
Where are we on the budget with this? Does this fall under professional services or?
No, this is not covered by the budget. It's covered by the trustees' gift funds.
Oh, okay.
And we tend to use unrestricted gifts that are held by First Financial Trust. Although we could also use the Fidelity funds. You would need to use something that's unrestricted.
So Catherine,
Go ahead.
so is it just because in terms of stage in the career, Annie's like the one in the library that is going through this stage in the career, or is it that there's other people who aren't applying? I guess it's been her each time. Is it just because she's the one who's going to school right now?
Yeah, everybody, all the other library, it's sort of a fluke. Annie has a master's in children's literature, and she filled a gap beautifully in our youth room with that degree. And then after she started working there, she had been at another library first part-time. She decided she did want to go to graduate school for library science, which is, the learning is a little bit different from what she had as the master's in literature. It adds on the librarianship. So what you see here when they talk about beginning cataloging and classification, that's a whole different subject matter than she would have had before. So she made a commitment to librarianship, and that's specifically what these courses are for. There isn't anybody else that's not a full librarian already. I don't think, Jackie, right? Everybody's already a full librarian. So the only way it might happen is if somebody who's in a paraprofessional position decided that they wanted to go to school, which is what I did when I was the administrative assistant.
So Catherine, does she have a significant amount of more courses that she needs to take? I mean, is this a lengthy thing?
I'm not sure where she is in it. She's got to be at least halfway.
I don't know. I presume she needs 12 courses. That's pretty standard. I'm not sure. She's doing a different program than I did, but I'm assuming she needs somewhere between 10 and 12. And I want to say she's maybe 5 and 6. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to know. She sometimes takes 2 at a time.
Yeah.
I don't know how many she took before she started.
So
50%.
We've funded everyone so far, right? Like we've probably done 4 or 5 now, haven't we?
Sounds about right.
It's
Yeah.
been, I can think of 3 off the top of my
I
head.
thought it was 3.
3, yeah.
Was that
That's
it?
what I thought. I just remembering. I remember there was like the Spanish one, and then the Spanish one, and then a couple other ones.
Right, well, these might be 4 and 5 right here.
Oh,
So that
Oh,
would,
check, understood, understood.
So I can,
I mean, my discussion is, I mean, I don't have an issue with the education. I think it's great for the person as well as for the organization. And if we have the funds to, do that, that's fine. My only concern is, like you addressed, Catherine, making sure we have that availability, with the funds as you're saying, in the following year. Just trying to strategically funding as much education as we can.
Well,
while
personally,
maintaining that
I'm sorry, personally, I'd say that if we have healthy funds right now, that I would like to see these two courses funded by us. With all, and in the future, always consider the status of our funds and the amount of people that apply. And she's the only one. And if she sounds like a valuable, unique member that we want to keep. So I'm for this year for sure.
I agree 100%. I think it sounds like she's an asset. I assume all of us have met her. We know she's an asset and, great person in addition to the library. And I think put on my PR hat, from a long-term standpoint, even if she didn't stay with the BB, supporting her still aligns with the mission of the library long-term to, support ongoing education. So I think even in the unlikely event that she leaves in a short period of time, which I would, not a betting man, but I would bet that she's not going anywhere anytime soon. We still did the right thing if we keep supporting her, as long as, like Sue said, the funds are there to do it.
Jackie and Catherine, you guys know the internal politics probably. There's no concern of appearance of equity or anything like that in terms of other people being like, well, she gets everything and I didn't get anything or anything like that.
She asks.
yeah, I don't think so. Do you, Jackie?
To my knowledge, everyone else already had a degree when they came in. So
There's no, it's my
there
turn.
wasn't
when's
really
my
an
turn?
opportunity for
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Are there opportunities for other staff members to make requests for related, if somebody wanted like a technology,
Oh, sure.
could that come out of the budget more so rather than the trust?
Sometimes it comes out of the budget
Okay.
and sometimes it comes out of a trustee fund. But usually there's $5,000 in the operating budget for professional development. And so there's usually enough money there. Actually, now that I think of it, just today, I signed off on somebody's taking a $70 course on it's cleaning paper, I believe.
Hmm.
They're going to learn, 2 people are going to learn how to clean paper. With
Is that a COVID course?
I guess it's not that kind of cleaning, but it could be a COVID course. Yeah, Northeast Document Conservation Center is offering a course, so 2 of them are gonna take that. They had an interest in it. So yeah, we do have funding for other things, and if
I
there's
took those courses. I took those usability courses this year that I think came out of that line.
right.
Yeah. So I just say that to kind of,
So is that
Balance
restoration
that
of artifacts or how to handle documents?
That's what Northeast Documents Center does. They handle documents and they restore and preserve. So if we have books that are really filthy, we can save them if they're easy enough to clean. But they teach you what tools to use, how to best do it, because you can't use water.
So Catherine, each course is, what is it, 1,400?
Yeah, so I was just looking at that. So if you funded 100% of both courses, it would be $2,844. And the unrestricted gift funds at First Financial Trust has more than $22,000 in it available as income that can be expended.
So really what we're doing as precedent is that it was probably about the same last year because we funded at least 2, right? For last year. So, I mean, so really precedent is made that we've put reimbursed it somebody about $3,000. So next year, if there's 5 applicants that want, they get partial reimbursement if we have the same amount of funds. And it's good to know that it's $3,000 out of the 22. So keeping that in mind, if and when this comes up next year, we'll compare. Like you said, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with any funds or anything.
Right.
Right.
But I think that's a very short amount of investment in a valuable employee. So,
I believe it's money well spent.
yeah.
Agree. Okay, so the motion would be to fund, well, I'll leave it to folks to make the motion, either all or part out of, but I would recommend out of the unrestricted funds at First Financial. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to fund 100% of requested tuition reimbursement out of unrestricted funds.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll put it to a vote. Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
great. Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. All right, very
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, excellent. Items not reasonably anticipated by the chair. Any walk-ons?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Well, I'll say thanks, everybody. This meeting is always on the long side because there's so much to vote on. There's so much business on the table. So thanks, everybody, for jumping in. Good discussion.
Jeff, do we have to talk about the collection development document, or is that was just the revision?
That was just the revision.
Okay,
previously.
okay.
And we're all
Okay,
set.
oh, right, in the packet. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't see it on the agenda, so I skipped it. Okay, thanks for that. Is there any discussion we want to have on that? No, okay. All right, the next Friends meeting is June 9th. Paul is primary, Amy is backup. The next meeting is June 22nd, 2022. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Can I say
Second.
something before we adjourn?
Absolutely. What would you like to say, Susan?
Congratulations on chairperson. You did an excellent job tonight.
Yeah.
I want to see it done in person next time. But
That would be fantastic.
you did a
Me
great
too.
job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great.
Jeff?
So yes, let's adjourn.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Amy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Thank you very much. We'll see you in June.
Thank you.
Results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good call.
Chris, are you bowling tomorrow night?
Yes.
Okay.
And I got a bad wing, so I may be throwing the ball left-handed.
All right. I got to defend my trophy.
There you go. I will be pulling a U for the next meeting. I will be on a plane.
I'm not on planes for most of these. I don't think have I ever missed a meeting?
Well, you seem to be out and about.
Oh, yeah. But I schedule my life around these meetings.
I don't.
Are we still recorded? Yeah.
You're
Susan,
muted, Sue.
you're on mute.
I object to that comment. I don't believe that's true.
Which comment?
That you schedule your life around these meetings.
For the record, I did just look at our whole list of meetings for the next year and
Yeah.
scan them to see if I was away for any of them, and I'm not. So at this time, I'm currently here for every meeting next year, and I will continue to work around that. I prioritize.
I believe.
I might not be here for Blossoms, though.
I believe I'm gonna miss one of them. I know you're not gonna be here for Blossoms. Is that true?
Not yet.
You're going to Egypt?
No, I'm not going to Egypt.
Okay,
I mean, not yet.
because Suzanne and Janice are going to Egypt.
Really?
Yeah, so we need you at Blossoms next year, should it occur.
Yeah, I'm going to be really busy. I'm going to need a helper.
Well, you definitely need a helper.
Yep.
We've had 3 years.
I think Jackie needs some work to do.
Jackie actually might be, she might be interested in helping with that. I don't know. I'll ask her.
We have
And
some-
looking at my little screen, we are recording still.
Oh yeah, I know. No, I was gonna say she can come watch the recording later and see where she got nominated to help with the Blossoms.
Excellent.
Well, she dodged the secretary, so she should be grateful.
I've dodged it for 5 years, so I'm grateful.
I've dodged it since day one, so
But I hope we can be in person in June.
yes.
And
Nice, except
Susan, are you at the chamber event tomorrow?
I have not signed up. I might stop by. Haven't committed to that. Certainly not bowling. But I didn't realize you were defending a title, so now I'm.
Oh, yeah. Holiday travel.
please.
What?
but I've got a slot for you if you want to throw some bowling balls.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Have you met me? No. No.
Yeah, we have a huge trophy in the office that we got in 2019 from the first one. So we have to defend our title tomorrow.
Yeah.
Awesome. But different location this year.
It's at the Bolodrome, yeah. And I feel like Barrett Realty might have come in second.
We didn't. Trust me, we didn't.
How many teams are this year?
11 or 10 and a half counting us.
Who are you? Like, who's your team?
Me?
Yeah. Just you?
Pretty much me, Jimmy and Heidi Rossiconi at this point. Maybe Gina.
What about
So-
Erica? No?
Huh?
Erica?
Oh, Erica's got a commitment with one kid, and Jackie's got a commitment with another, and everyone seemed to be fleeing the island, foreign island or something. So we're a little light on the squad.
Well, keep the faith.
Yeah.
We have some of our sales reps and and Keesla and I from the office, and then some of our reps, but basically it's a returning 5 from the last time.
The Fab Five.
Yeah, the ringers.
Well, you
I'm
better
gonna go
get
watch
you
the
better
5
rest
in
up.
green.
You better rest up.
I'm stretching now for bowling tomorrow. All right, I gotta get back to work. I will see you guys tomorrow.
All
You
right.
got it. Do
Take
stop
care.
down, Susan. Hope to see you soon.
I probably will.
All right, great.
Bye.
Thank you.